afternoon. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020. It's Tuesday, January 7th, and this is the Board of County Commissioners board meeting. Thank you. And we'll start by way of introductions. I'm John Hutchings, and to my left,
Gary Edwards.
Time in, sir.
La Bonita Bomar.
Ramiro Chavez.
Robin Campbell.
see, and I didn't have to do that.
Change in format.
Just for I forgot. So thank you for that. The meeting's been called to order, and the Pledge of Allegiance is going to be led by Commissioner Menser. Thank you.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And looking for an approval of the agenda for Tuesday, January 2nd or 7th, 2020, or an amendment to.
I would move to, County Manager has something to say.
Commissioners, I would like to introduce an amendment to the agenda for your consideration. And the amendment is on item number 5 under the Public Health and Social Services related to the interlocal agreement number 20-1176. And the amendment that I'd like to introduce for your consideration is changing the date from July 20, 2020 to July 31st, 2020 on the action.
Okay.
Okay, we can do it. I would move to approve the board minutes from December 10th, 2019. I know it's out of order.
Okay.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the board meeting minutes out of order from December 10th, 2019. Any discussion on that? Or two
No.
separate motions? Okay, no? All right, all in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have the board meeting minutes.
And we would need to make an adjustment, so I would move to approve the meetings from January, approve the Tuesday, January 7th, 2020 agenda, and then we'll make a...
As amended
As amended.
by the county manager?
First, you have to vote on the amendment. So you need to introduce a motion to approve the amendment as I proposed.
Approve the amendment.
The amendment as stated. Isn't
And
that
then,
what I
yep,
just said?
and we, then once we approve or disapprove,
Right? I'm going to vote to approve it.
okay. Then we do the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Yes,
But first we have to have a motion on the amendment.
on the amendment.
Accepting the amendment.
The amendment to the amendment. To the agenda. I guess.
Second. Of
Okay,
the
I
amendment.
think that it's been moved to approve the amended agenda, approve the amendment as amended by the county manager. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now is there a motion to approve the amended agenda?
Amended agenda. I would move to approve the amended agenda for December, or for January 7th, 2020.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, we're going to do better, though, with the new management coming
There
up.
we go. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have an agenda, an amended agenda. Thank you. That takes us to presentations.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. The first item that you need to consider taking an action on your first meeting of 2020 is to confirm the assignments for the Board of County Commissioners to internal assignments as well as the external assignments. And this is just a confirmation to the discussion that you had on December 17, 2019, where you tentatively agree as to how the assignments will be placed in 2020. So I have 3 motions for you. One is for the assignments for the Board of County Commissioners for 2020. The second motion for your consideration is the assignments for 2020 for the Board of Health. And third is the assignments for 2020 for the Transportation Benefit District.
So you have them as 3 different motions, but they're all under one action item. Take them individually, I would imagine.
Please do.
Okay. So is there a motion?
Well, Yeah, then I'll turn it over to the new motion makers shortly after I make this motion. How's that?
There you go.
Huh? I would move to confirm Commissioner Hutchings as chair and Commissioner Menser as vice chair for the 2020 Board of County Commissioners.
Second?
Been moved and seconded to confirm the chair and vice chair as proposed. Any discussion on those?
No, sir?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. And is there another motion now, another one?
Move to confirm Commissioner Menser as chair and Commissioner Hutchings as vice chair for the 2020 Thurston County Board of Health.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the Board of Health chair and vice chair. Any discussion?
No, sir?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye. That motion carries.
Move to confirm Commissioner Edwards as president and Commissioner Menser as vice president for the 2020 Transportation Benefit District.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to confirm Commissioner Edwards as president and Commissioner Menser as vice president for the 2020 Transportation Benefit District. And by statute, they are president.
Titled.
That's the title.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you. Next.
Yeah, the next item for your consideration is to confirm the 2020 assignments for all the outside board and commissions that you represent the county. And I believe it's close to a little bit over 40 that you have distributed the workload among the three of you. And this is the result of the decisions that you made on December 17, 2020.
And about how many boards are there and commissions?
Just a little bit over 40.
About 40. All right. Is there a motion?
Yes. Move to confirm the 2020 Board of County Commissioners representation and assignments to boards, commissions, councils, and committees.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the 2020 Board of County Commissioners representation and assignments to boards, commissions, and councils and committees. Any discussion on those?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I guess I would just comment to the public that if you're interested in knowing who is serving on which one of these, I believe there's 42 boards and commissions, it will be available on the website.
It is available on the agenda as an attachment, but certainly we will make it available on the commissioner's website when you approve this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that. And if anybody watching or in here is interested in serving on a board or commission, please contact the county. We're always looking for people. People fall off, they float back, they expire, their term expires. Please contact us. We're always looking for people to sit on commissions.
For the citizens advisory committees,
Yes.
yes.
Could I make one more comment, sir?
Yes.
And we try to have a little fun at those boards and commissions along with our meetings here. We don't want to take things so serious that we can't have fun in this job.
Right. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you. And now we've got a proclamation.
Yes, Commissioners, I would like to ask Thurston County Sheriff John Nasa to come to the podium and for you to consider proclamation declaring January 9th, 2020 as the National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Welcome, Sheriff.
Thank you, and I really appreciate your consideration for making this a National Law Enforcement proclamation for Thurston County. Not only is it for Thurston County Sheriff's Office, but as you can see, my partners behind me, I have Commander Chris Ward and Commander Jim Mack from Lacey Police Department. I have Chief Aaron Jelsik from Olympia Police Department, and I have my command staff, Under Sheriff Tim Braniff, Chief Dave Pearsall, Chief Brad Watkins, and I also have Captain Gordon Phillips here. And we're just wanting to all acknowledge our appreciation. But on top of that, National Law Enforcement Day couldn't be where we're at today with two other gentlemen who are in this room. And that's Prosecuting Attorney John Thunheim and our Office of Assigned Counsel Patrick O'Connor, because without those two individuals, we wouldn't be law enforcement and we would not be properly representing Thurston County as we should. And also acknowledging this day, I also want to thank the men and women of our corrections who serve every day tirelessly, serving their communities in a very much so unsung way. Yet alone, thanking all of our volunteers that serve not only for Thurston County Sheriff's Office, but the volunteers for all the police agencies that are being represented. Because these volunteers give their time and their energy, and most of all, their passion to want to serve their communities that they live in. And for that, I want to say thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. So with that, you want to read the proclamation? Or is there are there other comments? Does any other law enforcement professional want to speak? You're very welcome to come up and speak. Okay. Sit with your back to the wall in the back of the room, that's fine. I get it.
Occupational hazard.
I'm facing the door.
All right.
All right.
National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Whereas Thurston County recognizes the extraordinary service and sacrifice of the law enforcement officers who keep our communities safe, enforce the rule of law, and respond in times of crisis. And whereas the health and safety of all Thurston County residents is important to the happiness, prosperity, and well-being of families and communities. And whereas these officers stand as leaders and teachers, educating the community about the importance of public safety. And whereas it is important for all Thurston County residents to understand the duties and responsibilities, the dangers faced, and the sacrifices made by our law enforcement officers as they serve to protect us from violence and disorder. And whereas citizens' acts of kindness and appreciation for law enforcement officers provide our everyday heroes a source of encouragement and support as they confront uncertain and potentially dangerous situations each day. And whereas it is imperative to honor these law enforcement officers who lost their life while on duty protecting our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Thurston County Commissioners hereby proclaims January 9th, 2020 as National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, or LEAD, in Thurston County, and encourages the community today and every day to honor all law enforcement officers who put their own lives on the line to protect the lives of others. Adopted this 7th day of January 2020, Board of County Commissioners.
There you have it. Can we get a photo, please?
Please come.
Alright, so I'm going to take a couple photos. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2. Perfect. Thank you.
And you guys just stay here just again. One more second. One more pose. You don't want to be your own shot?
Well, Brian can take that.
That's Brian. Oh, I didn't take Brian. Brian will take it. You get in here. Come on. I got a chief. I got it.
That's an old phone, Chris.
Is that a flip phone?
1, 2. Alright, perfect. Thank you.
Lost. We got one. Very much.
Thank you.
Oh, All right, now we're at the part of the agenda where it is the opportunity for the public to address the board. I'd like to ask everybody, please, if you haven't already, please silence your cell phones. Greatly appreciated. And this is the time for the public to address the board. So when you are addressing the board, please address the board, not the audience. We don't respond to comment. We don't make debates, answers, and questions. It's our turn to listen. And the manager or staff will provide follow-up on a needed basis. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. And La Bonita Bomar has the remote for the timer, and it will tick down to 0, and you'll hear a ding or a chime. That means your time is up. You're not allowed to donate your speaking time to another person. We reserve the right to restrict a person's opportunity to address the meeting for good cause. No comments, please, that are lewd or offensive to a reasonable person. We ask you to be respectful. No outbursts of any kind. No comments that are commercial in nature, such as a promotion for a nonprofit or for a for-profit business. No comments that are inflammatory, hateful, defamatory, or discriminatory. All materials provided to the county may be considered public records, subject to public release upon request pursuant to the Public Records Act, Chapter 42.56 of the RCW, and remarks about pending land use permits or similar matters that could eventually come before the board on appeal would not be appropriate either. When I call you to the board, to the podium rather, please introduce yourself and where you live in the county. And there's one more item I think the county manager wants to add.
Yeah, moving into the 2020, which is an election year, no comments related to electioneering will be accepted.
Thank you. So I have the sign-up sheet. If you haven't signed up and would like to address the board, go ahead and still sign up. But even when we get through this, I will give you an opportunity to address the board. I'll call out the first person who is ready to speak and then call the next runner-up so you're properly ready to go. So first is Jerry Durker, followed by Sharon Coons.
Hi, my name's Jerry Durker. I live at 2826 Cooper Point Road Northwest, Olympia, Washington, 98502. I just wanted to let you know that I have discovered that apparently there was a clerical error at the assessor's office on a election for annexation for the property that also includes the Sunberg Sand and Gravel Mine site. Apparently, there was only, while it requires 60% or above to vote of property owners to vote for a project, pardon me, that's 60% of the assessed value on annexation. In this case, there was only 54.1%, but somebody made a clerical error and put that it was okay, that it was not less than, and it should have been just the not shouldn't have been on there. And so there was a clerical error, and the city of Olympia ran with it. And so even though there's only 54% on that one, they used that as the basis for their annexation of that whole piece of property that included the Sunberg Sand and Gravel Mine site and a bunch of other properties around there. Apparently, there's that one of those things. It's just one of those things that happen. Sometimes you guys miss, that someone in the office misses a knot that isn't supposed to be there, or doesn't put one in when there is supposed to be one. In this case, there was one there that shouldn't have been, and so but the city, instead of actually checking it, they just ran with it, and did some other mechanizations and stuff, some more incremental annexation stuff and things that I think we probably are going to have to talk to the Growth Management Hearings Board on. So I just wanted to let you know that actually you still own that piece of property. It's still within your jurisdiction because since that's an ultra vires act, as a ministerial duty that the assessor's office has to do, that has to have been done before the city of Olympia could have annexed that from you. So thank you very much. You have a good day, and hope you can get those taxes back. It should be 15 years worth. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Next is Sharon Coons, and then followed by Lisa Sazen.
Hi, Sharon Coons, Friends of Rocky Prairie. I live out Steamboat Island Peninsula. Friends of Rocky Prairie trying to save the area around Miller-Sylvania State Park from industrialization, as you well know. Next week, we'll be bringing in stacks of letters with names of people who've signed asking that you not rezone the property, and then we'll be begging forgiveness from the staff because they'll have to sort through them and they'll hate us for a while. In the meantime, here are the names of just a few of the groups that have joined the Coalition to Protect Rocky Prairie from North Point's development, and I believe Lisa has a new one today. FutureWise, Center for Biological Diversity, an international group. Black Hills Audubon Society, Tahoma Audubon Society, the Sierra Club, two local bicycling clubs, the Nisqually Delta Association, the League of Women Voters, and so on. And I believe you've heard from others, including, of course, the city councils of Tenino and Tumwater, asking you please to not docket this. We only spoke to the city of Olympia at their last meeting of the year, the city council, and seeing and hearing their reactions leads me to believe that you'll be hearing from them too, and I hope so. As I'm sure you've all realized, your county does not want this project, and the sooner you can let people know that it won't happen, the better for all concerned. If you're hearing from anyone in favor of this project, I imagine it's the jobs issue. I remember Steve Chamberlain got up at your Rochester meeting out there a long time ago, several months back, and gave the wildly inflated figure that there could be 4,000 jobs created by this, and that gets people kind of excited. But the Center of Logistics, Trade, and Transportation and the Intermodal Freight Transportation Institute, these are not two wild-eyed environmental groups. They've done a study of intermodal facilities around the country. The average per acre job number is 0.3, so a third of a job per acre. They're going to build on 472 acres if they get their way. We hope they don't. But that at the maximum would be 157 jobs. And that figure, folks, is neither full-time jobs nor permanent jobs. So it's pretty lame stuff. So I hope you won't fall prey to the people who think that, or are telling you that this is a huge job opportunity for Thurston County. And I'll hand this copy of the study over to Mr. Chavez, and he can copy it for you. I'm sorry I didn't bring copies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
And Lisa, is it Cezanne or Cezanne?
Suzanne.
Cezanne, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for asking. It's a difficult last name. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm here today representing Olympia Indivisible. Olympia Indivisible is a local group committed to encouraging participation in the democratic process and supporting grassroots movements that help protect our environment, and would like to announce that we've joined the Coalition to Protect Rocky Prairie from North Point's industrialization, in urging you, our Thurston County Commissioners, to not consider amending the comprehensive plan to allow for rezoning the property known as the Maytown site on West Rocky Prairie to rural resource industrial. The proposed North Point project at Rocky Prairie would threaten the adjacent West Rocky Prairie wildlife area and nearby Miller-Sylvania State Park. Also, paving over the critical aquifer where this would occur would most likely imperil local drinking wells and coho runs in Beaver and Allen Creeks. For these and many more reasons, we are relying on you to not put this rezone on the docket for consideration. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you all.
Thank you. That is all that has signed up. Is there anybody that in the audience that would like to address the board? Anyone? Anyone?
Two more.
Well, we've got one standing. John, come on up.
Wow, I'm actually taller than someone.
How do you spell your last name, John? Go ahead.
That's a good question. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm John Pettit. I live out in the Rich Road area. And I thought I would bring to you, it's interesting, a comment about not making electioneering comments in which I'll go out of my way. I think everyone knows where I stand on certain issues. Okay, I don't want to see big tax increases. But I want to talk a little bit about Thurston County and your position of not electioneering. Currently, Thurston County uses their website to expose one half of an issue. In other words, you don't have a non-biased portion available for the other input on your site. You need to remove your site that would emphasize things like paying property tax on a monthly basis. Nobody pays their property tax on a monthly basis. It's ludicrous to try to sell somebody on an issue that is not even within the standards of doing things. And it's ludicrous to try to suggest something's less than it is, or a condition of a building's different than what the actual reports from the studies that were done. So therefore, if the county wishes to continue to maintain a political position, they need to open the door and have opposing side give equal opportunity, placing videos on, placing information on. It should all be correct, but as you know, some people have a different perspective of how certain things are said. Nobody likes to hear it that way, but it's important that we all get a fair shot at it. Okay? Another topic, I think there's a lot of issues besides maybe a projected project of some significant $250 million level. I'm thinking maybe we have a project we need to reach out and help take care of this homeless issue we have in this county. Help law enforcement. I enjoyed this idea, we're given a proclamation. It was only a month ago I remember watching how the whole concept of actually funding them properly was completely outside the bounds. Now, that being said, they were like 700,000 less, but last year you did spend about 500,000 direct cost to come forward with a courthouse proposal, and then you also approved $177,000 for an election that could have been done for $25,000. So when people tell me they're concerned about finances, and then they chastise our law enforcement for overspending, maybe we don't have our priorities right. I'm going to encourage you to support law enforcement. Thank you.
And you're welcome. Come on up, please. And introduce yourself by name and about where you live in the county. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Sarah Joseph. I live in Olympia, Morse Merriman area. I'm speaking off the cuff here. My main concern here is about homelessness, drug addiction, mental health issues that have increased in Thurston County. A group of us are working very hard to work with the city of Olympia to change course on how they've handled some things. There's some things they're doing well, and there's some things that they've done not so well with some unintended consequences that are pretty bad. I think what my concern is, and we've been encouraged to come and talk to you about this by city council. You know, I'm not privy as to why, but they asked us to, so that's why I'm here. I do believe that we need more funding for police. I believe that we need to be going in these unsanctioned encampments with police, with fire, with social workers. Allowing people to live in squalor is not humane. Allowing downtown to become kind of an open-air psych ward and expect our City of Olympia police to not only enforce the law but become mental health techs is not okay either. So I'm just coming to express to you that we're trying to change some things in Olympia, and hopefully if we do get some things changed, things are going to eventually go out further into Thurston County, and I'm concerned as to what your response is going to be. My understanding is that different areas around the county pay the City of Olympia to host all the shelters. I don't think that's working anymore. We need shelters other places. We need low barrier, naturally, for the people who are addicted to get out of the cold. But we also need high barrier for those that are homeless but don't want to be around the drug issue that's going on here. So I'm just here to talk to you as a citizen, as a registered nurse, as to what I see going on at my job and as a citizen. And I just really hope that you're really listening, and I hope that we could turn things around in Olympia, and when we do, that you all are prepared, and that's it. Thanks. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address the board? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Renee Dars, and I live in Southeast Olympia. I also didn't plan on speaking here today, but Sarah I live really close to the Wheeler mess. I'm sure you guys are aware of what's going on there. And I am also here because the City of Olympia Council has asked that we approach other councils and basically ask for money to help with the situation, because all the shelter beds are in downtown Olympia, and we seem to be getting everybody's homeless being sent to downtown Olympia. There's not enough resources. There's not enough law enforcement. And obviously, there's not enough of our laws being enforced. And it's becoming very alarming, and it's getting very scary, especially living as close as I do to that particular camp. So I guess I'm here as well to represent the City of Olympia, to ask that somehow we all work together to come up with solutions that work for everybody so that we can feel safe again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else would like to address? Yes, please.
Sorry, I had shoulder surgery. It's kind of hard to get it up there. Hello.
Hi.
I am Mae Flanagan. I lived in Olympia for 21 years before I moved a year and a half ago. And I moved 3 hours from here. But I'm here because Olympia is home to me. I moved here from Missouri when I was in my 30s, but it has always been home. I raised my children, and I'm raising my grandchildren, and they will never either remember the Olympia they grew up in, and my grandkids will never know the odyssey of Olympia when their parents lived here. We won't even take our kids or grandkids downtown anymore. So somebody who felt she needed to move. I had to leave the community I love because I don't feel like I'm being heard. And I'm here to support my friends and acquaintances in our fight to get Olympia back. And I feel tuned out by the city council because they keep telling us we need to come to you. You need to give them money. They need more money. We're just feeling like the buck is being passed. We had a great meeting with Thurston County Sheriff's Office and Olympia Police Department last Sunday. Very informational. We learned quite a bit, so that's kind of fitting that we're here on lead day. So I just want you to know, people are leaving. People are moving. We hear it every day. 1, 10, 15 people said, I either moved or when my kids are out of school, I'm moving. That's not what we want for Olympia, and it's not what we want for Thurston County. So we're here to let you know we're here. We're here to tell you we want to work with you, and we just want Olympia back. So thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Anyone else? I got plenty of room. Anyone? Anyone? All right, thank you. County manager update.
I don't have any specific updates for you today, Commissioner.
So that takes us to agenda item number 3, consent items A through C.
Move to approve consent items 3A through 3C.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve consent items A through C. Any discussion on any of those items?
No.
Nope.
No, sir.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Now moving into department items. The first one is information technology, authorizing information. It's a contract.
Good afternoon. Dennis Osorio, IT Director. To give you a little background on this project first, because it's been in flight for a little over a year and a half. In July 2018, the Board of County Commissioners approved the IT department to advertise a request for proposal for a replacement case management system for the prosecuting attorney and public defense. The RFP was released in July 2018. Five proposals were received in August of 2018. IT partnered with the stakeholders of the offices and formed an evaluation team, and all 5 vendors were invited on site to perform demonstrations. After evaluating the demonstrations, the team scored Journal Technologies, eProsecutor, and eDefender as the case management system that best meet all the county's requirements. IT, along with prosecuting attorney and public defense, have worked with JTI to refine the scope of work, the cost of implementation, and very many details of this contract to ensure that the county set up properly. Information Technology is now seeking the board approval to enter into a contract with JTI for an implementation cost of $420,600 and an ongoing annual license and hosting cost of $240,000 for 5 years, seeking the approval for a total of $1,518,660, which includes the 10% contingency. The acquisition cost for the system will be paid out of the large IT application replacement fund that the Board of County Commissioners established in 2016. And the ongoing annual license and hosting costs will be included in the internal rates every year.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions?
No, sir.
Questions or comments?
I think John may like to.
Oh, yes. And I have both of the, John Schunheim and Patrick O'Connor, both here from both offices who've partnered with us during this
Office of
entire
Public Defense and Prosecutor, come on up if you wish to address this issue.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Patrick O'Connor. I'm the Director of Public Defense. As we spoke a little bit this morning at the agenda setting, this has been a 2+ year endeavor for the county's benefit as well as the benefit of not just my department but the prosecuting attorney's office. But I couch that in that as we've gone through this process, we've dedicated a lot of people hours through the RFP process, demoing to pick the right product to meet Thurston County's criminal justice needs. And although the specific ask is that it's a replacement system for both my department and the prosecuting attorney's office, I think it's best viewed through the lens that this is an investment in Thurston County's criminal justice system. What we've seen from this vendor and why it was selected were the efficiencies, frankly the cost savings, that any technological upgrade such as this in the replacement of the system that we have now have been realized. That's people hours, that's efficiencies, that's savings, and we want a criminal justice system that's not delayed by legacy workflow, to be frank. And this is an opportunity to replace a system that put us in that position at this point. So I ask the board to adopt the recommendation. I really want to thank our IT department, both Dennis and Brian Ferris, who's here today. It's been a lot of work on their end to get to this point. So we're real excited. Thank you.
Good, thank you, sir.
Commissioners, good afternoon. I'm just going to, well, first of all, agree with everything that Patrick just said, but point out the fact that this has been a collaboration from the beginning. When we first started this project, we came together and determined that while we are in very different roles, and when we walk into the courtroom are in adversarial roles, there are many things that we can do together to make the system better, and not just better for us, for the users, for the lawyers, but better for defendants, accused, better for witnesses, for victims, for law enforcement, everybody that comes in contact with our system. This has ways to improve that experience, we believe. And so that collaboration has been at the forefront of this from the very beginning, and working together, and we've come up with this solution, which I think everybody agrees now is the best solution for everybody involved. And so I'm going to also add my appreciation to the IT department for kind of helping manage this process along so that the cats get herded, as they say, in the direction that we've been going. And I know that everybody in my shop is anxious to move forward on this. We're working with a product now that's 15 years old, if not more, and in technology years, that's a long time. It's an old product, and they're very anxious to get to work and build this into what we need to make our offices better. So thank you for your support and appreciate your approval of this today. Thanks.
Once this gets approved, when will it be implemented? If it gets approved? have to
We're
say.
looking at a year implementation timeline, but we'll work with the vendor to outline that and make sure that we have limited impact, obviously, to operations. We need to make sure that we're functional during the whole time, so we'll be working with the stakeholders there. But currently, it's tentative to around a year from once we're signed and project
Okay.
kickoff starts.
It's been a 2-year process, and like I said this morning, I'm excited about this. This is good stuff, finally. All right, anything further? Nope, okay.
I guess I'd just like to compliment Dennis and Patrick and our prosecuting attorney on working together to give the benefit to the taxpayers in the end, because that's the efficiency we're going to receive.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Motion?
I would move to authorize the Information Technology Director to execute a contract for implementation, $420,600, and ongoing annual costs of $240,000 for Journal Technology e-Prosecutor e-Defender system, not to exceed $1,518,660, which includes a 10% contingency over a 5-year term.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the Information Technology Director to execute this contract. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Dennis. Next, item number 5 is Public Health and Social Services contract with an interlocal agreement with the Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families. And we have Program Manager Gretchen Toller here.
Hi, good
Welcome,
afternoon,
Gretchen.
Commissioners. Thank you for having me. My name is Gretchen Toller. I'm the Maternal Child Health Manager at Thurston County Public Health. And I am here to seek approval of Amendment 1 to our agreement with the Department of Children, Youth, and Families to provide NFP services to families in Thurston, Mason, and now Lewis counties. This amendment allows for an additional $180,000 for this contract year ending July 31st, 2020, bringing the total amount to $812,050.41. With this total contract, we will serve 52 families in Thurston County, 35 families in Mason County, and now 38 families in Lewis County with NFP services.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Questions or comments?
Well, I guess I'd just ask Gretchen, our, kids are 30% of our population and 100% of our future, and this is going to help, isn't it?
Absolutely will help.
Thank you.
Is that
Makes a
true,
big
Gretchen?
difference. That is absolutely true.
Any questions or comments?
No.
All right, nor do I.
Ready for a motion?
Yes.
I move to approve Amendment Number 1 to the interlocal agreement with the Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families, contract number 20-1176, for a total maximum consideration not to exceed $812,050.41, with a termination date of July 31st, 2020, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the amendment and any future amendments that do not revise the approved dollar amount or duration of the contract by more than 10%.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to enter into an interlocal agreement with the State Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Nope. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion
Thank you
carries.
very much.
Thank you, Gretchen. Agenda item number 6, Public Works, quick claim deed, transferring Thurston County right-of-way to Washington State Department of Transportation. Craig Sisson, Real Estate Services Manager.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm Craig Sisson, the Real Estate Services Manager with Public Works. The Washington State Department of Transportation is requesting Thurston County transfer a portion of Anderson Road southwest right-of-way at the intersection of US 12 to WashDOT for the use in the US 12 Anderson Road Safety Improvement Project, which will build a roundabout at the intersection of US 12 and Anderson Road. This transfer is allowed pursuant to RCW 4712-040, the acquisition of property from a political subdivision at no cost to the state or to the county. This transfer is part of an ongoing US 12 corridor improvement project between the state, the county, and the Chehalis tribe. The transfer of Thurston County right-of-way for a transportation safety improvement project is consistent with the county's strategic plan and meets the initiatives of improved community health, wellness, and safety, and support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving community. I'm here to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No.
Any questions?
No, I think I'd just point out that we've had a lot of discussion on this project over the last year or so, and I appreciate your hard work into this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we've had discussion on roundabouts in general for quite some time, and they are intersections, aren't they?
They are. And are you going to say it, or do you want me to say
You
it?
say it, you say it, please.
So, as they are intersections, please always remember to use your turn signal.
Use your turn signals. Okay, I thought I heard that. Thank you.
Going in and coming out?
Yep, yeah. Thank you, thank you, Craig. Lots of soapboxes up here. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the signing of the quitclaim deed, transferring a portion of existing Thurston County right-of-way on Anderson Road Southwest to the Washington State Department of Transportation to use as part of the US 12 Anderson Road Safety Improvement Project.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on this?
No, sir.
Nope. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Number 7, the Auditor's Office, an interlocal agreement.
All right.
And Grant Manager Joe, there you go. Joel.
All right. Good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Joe Wolf. I'm the new grants manager with the Auditor's Office, and I'm here today with to present a grant from the Office of Financial Management. And this grant, it comes in the form of an interlocal agreement that provides Thurston County with up to $9,900 to provide education and outreach materials for the decennial census. So we partnered with the Thurston Regional Planning Commission and several of our municipalities in what's called the Complete Count Committee. And that committee is responsible for helping to ensure that we get an accurate count of the population here in Thurston County during the 2020 census. So this money will be used for education outreach materials, both printed materials and for social media boosts by the Thurston County Auditor's Office and the Commissioner's Office, as well as potentially other offices throughout Thurston County that reach a different audience. So we've partnered with them. I think the Thurston Regional Planning Commission applied for $80,000 from OFM. We applied for this $9,900. And the libraries were also looking to potentially apply for a grant. That money will be used for the Thurston Regional Planning, or Thurston Region Complete Counts Committee to do these outreach materials. And as you know, the census is important for so many reasons. You guys know this as well as anybody, that it's used to reapportion congressional seats as well as redraw district boundary lines. And near and dear to my heart is the distribution of federal funds. So I think in 2017 it was used to distribute something like $707 million or $1 billion of federal funding, and it's just going to increase into the future. So we want to make sure we've got an accurate count so that we can get the resources to provide our population with the services they need. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions you might have about the grant or the census. And
okay, any questions?
Just a comment. This is a very important issue. I agree with you about the census and making sure it's accurate. I was at the Strengthening Sanctuary Alliance meeting last night, and they explained that there's some job opportunities for citizens. They're going to have folks reaching out to interview and talk to families in populations that may be undercounted. And they're looking, like the trainings are coming right up and the work's coming right up. So if you have time and initiative and you want to be part of this and earn some money, there's opportunities there to reach out and do that.
that's absolutely right. Thank you, Commissioner Messer.
Beautiful. Commissioner, any comments?
I guess I'd just double down on what you said, Joe, about the fact that we want to get our fair share of that allocated money. It's going to go somewhere, and we should get our fair share. So thank you very much.
Based on good information. So thank you, Joe.
All right.
Is there a motion?
I move to approve an interlocal agreement number K3013 between Thurston County and the state of Washington during the period of January 7, 2020 through June 30th, 2020 for a total award of $9,900 to support the education and outreach efforts of the Thurston Region Complete Count Committee, and to authorize the Thurston County Auditor to sign the agreement and any future amendments that do not revise the approved dollar amount or duration of the contract by more than 10%.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded to enter into an interlocal agreement with the with OFM. Any further discussion or comments?
No, sir.
No.
Nope. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you.
Number 8 on the agenda is Central Services Contract Award for Landscaping Services to Northwest Landscape Services. Robin.
Thank you, Commissioner. The county contracts for ground maintenance services, which includes mowing and yard maintenance, plant and tree maintenance, weeding, pest control, trash and storm cleanup, ice and snow removal, and the services of an arborist. So quite a few services included in our grounds maintenance contracts. In November, Central Services issued an RFP requesting proposals, and we received 3 responses. Those responses were scored by a team of evaluators, and Northwest Landscape Services had the highest score. Northwest Landscape Services has been providing grounds maintenance to the county for the past 5 years, and we've been very happy with their services, and I am glad to recommend to you that we continue to work with them on our grounds maintenance. The maximum amount of this contract would be $210,000. We pay for the services that we receive on a rate schedule that's part of the proposal. That's the maximum, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have, but this is the proposal that staff are recommending.
Any questions or comments?
Just maybe to confirm, the county has a lot of property that's covered with this contract.
Yes.
And so these folks cover a lot of ground to get to those locations and provide that service. And am I right in saying it's about 70 acres of property in total?
Sounds about right to me. I would have to check and see what exactly, but I'm getting the nod, so yes, that sounds about right. So it goes from our Lilly building in Lacey to our Tilly building in Tumwater, and all points in between. So it's the public health building, the public works building, the courthouse campus here, our corrections facility, our family court facility, the coroner's office in Tumwater. It's wherever the county owns property, this company will provide the grounds maintenance.
And it's also snow and ice removal and
That's right.
treatment. Is that
That's
right?
exactly right. And we check on that on a daily basis in cold weather to see what the county needs. And this company comes out very early in the morning when it's still dark. If necessary, puts down sand. They do the snow plowing. It works very closely with our facilities staff on what we need in storm events.
Better get this approved before Monday, right?
Yes, yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions or comment?
No.
I have one. You said the max is $210-ish
That's right.
$1,000, but that's the ceiling.
That is the ceiling.
So built into that are the events, the extraordinary events where they need to come in and do extra amenities or extra hours?
Those are built into this contract. With the big storm event that we had in 2019, we had to come back for an amendment because we spent far more than we had planned to. But we hope that this year the weather's not as severe and that we'll be able to stay within this amount.
So, but staying within this amount, absent any kind of extraordinary weather event, how much do we normally spend?
I would have to look. I haven't looked at the average here.
I don't know if that gives us like a $5,000 bump or a breathing room or 10,000.
I couldn't tell you offhand. I'd have to check.
Okay, just wondering, but thank you. All right, ready for a motion?
I move to award a contract for landscaping services at certain county properties to Northwest Landscape Services and authorize the Assistant County Manager to negotiate and sign a contract.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to award a contract for landscaping services to Northwest Landscape Services. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Nope. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. That's done before Monday.
Thank
Good point. Number 9, community planning and economic development. Setting up public hearing, and Ian Lefcourt. I know 2 other Ians. They go by Ian, and they correct me every time. I'm not Ian, I'm Ian. So I'm sorry, Ian. Called you Ian.
I serve at the pleasure of the board. Please use whatever you feel.
Mr. Lefcourt, if you will, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Ian Lefcourt, Associate Planner with Community Planning and Economic Development, and I'm here to request the board set a public hearing for February 4th, 2020 at 3 p.m. or soon thereafter to take testimony on proposed amendments to Title 18 Platting and Subdivisions. As you recall, Community Planning staff made this request to the board on December 10th of last year. Unfortunately, there was an error with noticing in the Olympian, and so it was not duly noticed. That is the reason why staff is before you today, requesting a new public hearing and canceling the one that was meant to take place today. As a reminder, the amendment focuses on Section 18-12-150 Preliminary Plat, which defines how the Community Planning and Economic Development Department grants extensions for preliminary plats. The county is granted the authority to create regulations for preliminary plat extensions by the Revised Code of Washington 58-17-140, and the proposed amendment would make it so that non-phased subdivision projects would be eligible for a one-time 3-year extension. Currently, the code allows for a one-time 1-year extension. In addition, the structure of how phased projects receive their extensions is proposed to change, but the total possible amount of years worth of extensions would not change. That's staying at 10 years. The requirements for how the department would approve extensions is also not going to change. In addition, the proposed amendment corrects the department definition in Section 1808-133 by replacing resource stewardship with community planning and economic development to change with our department's name change. The draft documents are available on the community planning website for the public to review, and the hearing notice will be published in the Olympian. That concludes my remarks, and I welcome any questions.
Questions or comments?
No, sir, I think Ian has covered it. Ian has covered it.
Any questions or
Man,
comments?
you guys are going to mess me up. No, I'm good.
I have one question. The reference to cancellation for today, have notices been posted on the exteriors of the doors and here perhaps?
Yes, did it myself.
Oh, good man. Thank you, Ian, very much. All right, is it ready for a motion?
I move to set a public hearing for February 4th, 2020 at 3 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard at the Thurston County Courthouse, Building 1 in Room 280, to receive public comment for preliminary plat extension amendments to Title 18 of the Thurston County Code, Development Code Amendment A17.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to set a public hearing for February 4, 2020 at 3 p.m., Building 1, Room 280. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, Ian, very much.
Thank you.
County Manager. Now we get to talk about all the stuff we've done over the last couple of weeks. Who wants to begin? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Well, we've got quite an audience here, I see. That's left. I hope somebody's watching on TV. Anyway, over the break, I didn't do much that was official, but a lot of community interaction, and that having to do with a multitude of things the county is involved in, and I'll let it go at that.
And I saw you at a couple of these events that were related.
We were at one for the school this morning.
That's right.
Something I guess I can't talk about that, but okay.
We can talk about it.
Oh, can we?
You want to go ahead?
Sure. Attended a whole bunch of stuff, including the swearing in of the new elected officials. I missed my own swearing in, so I really wanted to see how that worked. Attended with Commissioner Hutchings the grand opening of the new behavioral health facility in Shelton as our waning days as governing board of the BHO.
Yeah.
Our final appearance there. I attended a Veterans Court graduation, which was very moving and a really neat event over in District Court right before Christmas. Took a tour of the new Olympia Transit Center, which is just about to open here in about a month, the expansion of the Olympia Transit Center for intercity transit. Again, North Thurston School, bond and levy breakfast this morning. Attended the opioid task force meeting and worked on solid waste issues by checking in with some of our SWAC members over the holiday, set up some individual meetings just to get some more detailed information from our Solid Waste Advisory Committee and learn more about those important issues that we'll be working on this year.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, we're going back a bit. Attended the Thurston County Chamber Forum Boss of the Year. That goes back a couple minutes. And the American Legion 100 or Centennial Celebration of Incorporation. You were there for that as well, Commissioner Edwards, I believe. Attended Leadership Thurston County Government Day, part of a panel that county manager and city managers sat on a panel in front of a group of about 40 or 50 movers and shakers from around the county, learning leadership. And all it's a year long, or
Yeah, it's just about 9 months.
9-month process. It's wonderful. And so I was on the panel with the mayors of the county and the county commissioner talking about government functions and such to this group of young folks. I attended just for the sake of, I just wanted to know, a Thurston Conservation District work session in December. That was very interesting. And the Intercity Transit's holiday banquet. Attended the, right before Christmas, the 11th annual Community Hanukkah celebration and menorah lighting at Sylvester Park. And that was cool. That was really a cool event. Rainy and cold, but it was cool. It did, like Commissioner Menser said, we had the ribbon cutting in Shelton at the Mason County Evaluation and Treatment Facility at the open house. And I was pretty impressed with how many people showed up for that.
Me too.
Being the 23rd of December. That was impressive. And then more recently, like last night, the Thurston Shared Legislative Partnership Legislative Dinner was last night at SPSCC. And so the mayors from around the county were there, county managers, some other county or city managers were there as well as Representative Wilcox, Representative Orcutt, Representative Dolan, Representative McEwen, and Senator Sam Hunt were in attendance. And we chatted about the shared legislative agenda that we have coming into this new session. And boy, they're all jumping and chomping at the bit to begin session, kind of. And then this morning, the North Thurston Citizens for Schools breakfast with a ballot coming up on a ballot measure next month in February. So other than that, I'm turning now to County Manager.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'll walk you through the upcoming schedule, the combined schedule, that at least 2 commissioners will be present. You may have individual appointments on your individual calendars. Those will not be part of my report. Wednesday, January 8th at 11 in the morning, you will have the opportunity to welcome new county employees. At 11:30 to just about 1:15, you will be attending the Thurston County Chamber State of the Community event that will be located in a Hotel RL, 2300 Evergreen Park Drive Southwest, Olympia. That's where Commissioner Hutchins, as the chair of the board, will provide a perspective from the county, as well as the mayors will provide a perspective from the individual cities. You will come back tomorrow at 1:30. You will have a briefing related to the mineral lands update. 2 in the afternoon, Public Health and Social Services Director Shelley Slater will provide you a perspective on their strategic plan efforts. And at 2:30 in the afternoon, CPED staff will walk you through the Habitat Conservation Plan resubmittal. That will be the 3rd version. And they will walk you through at very high level some of the changes they included on the revised plan. Thursday, January 9th, you have a briefing related to the courthouse project. At 10 in the morning, you'll have your commissioners check-in, and an agenda will be placed 24 hours in advance. Friday, January 10th, at 3 in the afternoon, you will be meeting at 440 Yager Way Southeast. That will be the TC Media studios, where you will be taping Meet the Commissioners conversation. Nothing on your combined schedule over the weekend, nothing on your combined schedule on Monday, January 13th, and you will come back on Tuesday, January 14th to review the agenda, 9 in the morning. For the agenda in the afternoon, the Board of County Commissioners. And you also have at 3:30, the Board of Health, at the first meeting of the year on the January 14th. That's all I have.
All right, well then, let me ask the Vice Chair, you have anything for the good of the order?
I don't.
Commissioner Edwards, anything for the good of the order?
No, sir, but everything ran pretty smooth this last part of this meeting.
Yeah, it did, last part, yeah. So, okay, this meeting.
I had a year to watch.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Happy New Year.